Okay, so I just completed turn one with this scenario. I actually had to reset because I realized I was rolling on the wrong column for one of the machine guns, particularly this one up here. If you don't know much about ATS or ASL or whatever, so the first number is the column you roll on for the damage. The second was the range. I had them flip-flopped just for this unit for some reason, not for any of the other ones. So I had to reset because this guy was getting way too many hits and things like that. Had a good first turn, kind of broke even, I would say. Both units lost a squad. This setup was right here. He had a, let's see here. He rolled on the 14, had a C3, and then proceeded to break this guy. And picked up his nice little machine gun. Lost the unit that came with this machine gun here. Also took a couple hits here. Captain Udalov was broken, but he recovered. The Germans actually do have a broken unit here. They haven't been able to recover. And this guy it's only the top guy that's broken. So, well, matter of fact, what I'm going to do is I'm going to do it this way. So he's on the bottom. So that one is from there. I took one of the squads, pulled them all the way up here, which is why you see a winded squad. The one thing that I did learn from my previous play is that trying to attack the center here, well, this becomes a machine gun alley. So this is like Death Alley right in here. Let me back this up. So this is Death Alley right here. Not a good idea to run with that one. So we're going to go through that and we'll move on. Okay, we're on to turn two and we'll see how things go. Turn two just completed. We're going to be moving to turn three here. The squad, the crew that was down here and the leader that was broken ended up getting annihilated. Really interesting tactic I haven't used was a fire group. I used all three of these to fire into here and ended up breaking this entire hex, which was, really good. So it ended up being a 20 and I rolled really low. So that was really good. I'm really happy about that one. Let's see here. Other than that, the Soviets tried to set up a melee for this guy right here with Sergeant Henley, but that didn't quite work out so well. The Germans were like, nope, we don't need to do the aggressive attack, so they backed here. And of course, then the Soviets just followed suit and put right here. So this should be a pretty good battle pretty soon here, which will be interesting. Then just kind of consolidated some units up here. All in all, not a crazy turn. Did lose that leader down here, but I still do have Sergeant Frederick right here. These guys, you can tell where the battle line's being drawn right now. We've got the south corner here, and then we've got up north. I've kind of kept these guys here safe. That guy hasn't moved, and I kind of moved Corporal Eagles up here into more efficient defensive line. He was all the way back here, but got him moved up here. He'll be able to help into this area here, throw some firing into here, because he has a decent amount, and then he'll go up too as well. So that's that. End of turn two, on to turn three. Well, turn three, guys. This has turned out a lot more interesting than I thought it was, since I had to reset and, I deleted those videos, so you guys don't know how bad it was. It was horrible. But this is very interesting. What ended up happening, the northern flank here eliminated in combat the unit that was going on right here. This was kind of like the protected unit trying to just keep everything down. Interesting enough, these guys can now just freely, run the buildings and capture buildings left and right. It's going to be interesting because I'm going to have to start using these guys here, these Germans here, to start protecting this area right here. So that's going to be interesting to see how that works out. Now, let's go down to the south. I used fire group again and hit zilch. Like, literally, I was on the 24, It was up 2. I rolled a 9 and ended up with 11, which is a no hit. With that, just, yeah. Yeah, it wasn't good. It was not good at all. So I've kind of consolidated a lot of these guys into 2 kind of larger stacks. Was hoping to take move these in infiltration. Kind of realized I probably shouldn't have done that fire group. Well, the fire group could have taken care of them if they would have hit them. They're already broken. There's a good chance they possibly would have surrendered. Then who knows what would have happened during the rally phase. We still have quite a lot of broken guys here. This guy was right here. I moved these guys in here to hopefully infiltrate. Ended up this nice little squad and LMG ended up breaking these 2 units. All I needed was 1 unit, but this unit wasn't broken this turn, so he crawled back a hex, and yeah, so that left at that. This guy broke last turn, so he couldn't move at all. And you can't infiltrate either. So I did crawl with them during the assault or fire in action phase, which gave me a little bit different here. But it's really turning out quite interesting. The Soviets definitely have the most losses by, let's see, they've lost 3 squads. The Soviets have lost 3 squads. Here, a leader and an officer at that. And then a 238 crew, which was manning this machine gun right here. And the Germans have lost 2 full squads. Looking at it here, they don't really have the squads to lose. They had 13 squads, and so now they're down to 12. And while the Soviets have lost 3 full squads, they started out at 21. But I noticed there's a lot of casualties on the Soviet side as well. And it's this side can take this pretty easy. But there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. There's like 12 hexes, 12, 13, 14 hexes right in here that are building, 15 that are building hexes. That's probably going to be a big difference. I do have this machine gun that is up level 10, which is going to be interesting. There's a 1 hex shadow if you're too close, 2 hex safety if you're behind something. So it's going to be interesting to see how this all works out. Okay, on to turn 4, and we'll see how it goes. It is a 7-turn scenario. I might have been too slow, but we'll see what happens with the Russians, and we'll see how many, buildings they can actually take. Okay, thanks a lot. Talk to you later. Bye. Turn 4 was quite entertaining, actually. Let me zoom out this a little bit more. We've got the Soviets really moved in here. We did a lot of running around here, so that's why you see a lot of the winded counters up in this north west corner here. A lot of running here. Drew the fire onto this one. Was hoping just to get something small. Ended up taking 3 hits and then breaking, and then so that wasn't good. But I was able to actually maneuver around here to get here between infiltration and just maneuvering. Even though it's plus 10, if the obstruction is within 6, it's only 1 hex, so there's still the 1 hex blocking it. Now, if it was like if I went through up here on this road here, this guy could have seen it, except for right here, depending on the line of sights and everything. So it was really had to maneuver the right way. Slowly maneuvering up here to get this guy. Next turn, I'm going to put him underneath, and then I'm going to infiltrate up, try to get rid of that. that crew and that machine gun. If I can get that, that'll be awesome. That'll take one big Overwatch piece off. Plan is to take this guy, move him at least into here to take that building hex, and then try to bring him on down. Q is not an active row here, so that works out. So that's that, and then also had quite a few units, German units, like move in. We did lose a couple of. We're at three squads. Yeah, 3 full squads are down on the German side, and the Russians are down at 4. So it's still really an interesting duel here. We got a match here. Interesting to see how this goes here. Kind of lost everything down here. I've got this broken guy here. Oh, I forgot to do one quick dice roll. This surrender, we have to roll to see if he gets eliminated. He has to survive. He's got an 8, but I've got 2 full squads, so that's actually a 6. And that broken guy doesn't count. So I have to have 6 or less, and I roll 10. So that actually eliminates that squad. The broken guy does not have to do that. He'll probably just crawl away anyways. The only problem is Sergeant Reed can come in and probably follow him through, because pretty much you can move 1 hex. Anyways, I didn't have any melee combats in this turn. But definitely an interesting scenario. I thought it was definitely heavy favored for the Germans. I don't know. Depending on what happens in here, I think really matters, and how this area goes here. If these, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 hexes go, it'll be very curious to see how it works out. Using a few different techniques, I haven't really ran much, but definitely wanted to run to get through some of these buildings, to take possession of them. I could have just said, oh, I'm coming in here, and these lines over here, these buildings over here are mine because they're behind my lines. But I'm like thinking, well, there could be more Germans that would come in this way. So I'm going to play it that way, make it really official. This guy could do some ravaging here if he really wanted to. The only thing is, I have a couple units here that could probably do some damage, because he could actually come through and start retaking some of these buildings. Don't think he's going to do that. He's too worried about these guys like rummaging quite through here. Sergeant Reed's focused on this one, but this is not a small force here either. This is a pretty decent sized force, which, you can see these guys are definitely not going to be in a hurry to kind of find that. As long as they can defend this area right here, and kind of these buildings right here, it's not going to be a big issue. As long as they don't give up these, it shouldn't be too big of a deal. And as well as down these. So kind of this whole area, this kind of crescent right here, they need to defend, because if this guy goes this way, these guys are just going to come up here and start taking out more buildings. There's only a few buildings up here that are in the Russian control. Not worth it. Not worth it to lose a lot of these. We can get they might even get into this melee combat with this squad here, or this crew here, which would not be good, because they'd lose this machine gun. This machine gun's been putting a lot of fire down. It just actually through this area here, that's keeping these Soviets from just advancing across. We'll see what happens. So that was the end of turn. On to turn 5. 3 more turns left. Okay, so end of turn 5. Unfortunately, I've seen where this one's going. The Soviets have lost a very, very large amount. Plus, there are 3 broken squads here. And they have lost 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 squads. So they're down almost half. Half if you include the broken squads. They lost a leader and a crew. The Germans have lost 3 of their squads and the crew. The infiltration was successful going up to the 2nd level here. So now this crew does have access to that MMG. So we'll see. I'll have to read up on that. They could cause some serious problems. Oh no, he's back there. They can cause some serious problems. The only thing I see is that this, let me scroll over here. Shoot. This crew right here, this group right here, which has got 2 squads and an LMG, could actually easily start taking back some of these buildings. There's nobody to stop him. He's probably engaged in him pretty much. There's just no way. At this point, I'm going to call it just because I just don't see. One is they're not going to get in here. This could be interesting, but this group, this machine gun, almost went over. Is not going to get in here. They're not. This guy's just going to be, every time they take a building hex, probably lose a squad or 2. This one's going to get up here and start retaking these buildings. It doesn't say where on the map they have to have. The Soviets have to have more. Exactly. The Russians win the game. Win at game end if they control more buildings hexes than the Germans do. Not going to happen. As much as I like to see it, not going to happen. Yeah, I got these 3 here, but you're still talking. Yeah, it took these. It's not going to take much for them to start taking other hexes, though. Let's see. Let's widen this out. So the Germans right now control 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. Okay, they control 24. The Soviets control 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. Oh, well, I strike that. I am not calling this. I am not calling this at all. Whew. Yeah, there's still a chance here. Okay, well, that's cool. I was about ready to call it, but I'm not going to call it yet. We'll have to see how this turns out. At least give another turn. So, moving on to turn 6. Only got 2 turns left. So, this guy really can't get too much because getting out of here, 1, 2, 3, 4. So, we get 1 building back. These 2 buildings have not been taken, but they will be. This guy could easily take out some of these units here. This has only got a crew in it. So he'd just have to hit a C2 for that to get rid of that one. Oh, there's 2. Yeah, well, it's like about even right now, surprisingly enough. Yeah, so we'll see how it goes. Okay, bye. Okay, so turn 6 has ended, and I am definitely calling it on turn 6. Currently, the Germans have 28 building hexes, and the Soviets have 24. The most they could get would be, at the most, would be adding this one right here. That's it. So it'd be 25. This one may be able to take this one. So that'd be 26. So it's 20, that'd be 26 then. But if you look over here, I could easily send one there, or there. So I could easily get 5 more buildings. So, and that would take away from the Soviet total. So, yeah. Nope, we're going to call it. Pretty close game, though. All the way went down to almost the last turn. This is kind of the casualty tracker here. The Soviets definitely took the most. They had to be the aggressor, though, of course, so they're going to take more. But they really took a lot, and I have still 2 broken squads on the table that we're not going to get. There's no way they were going to get redone. So, but definitely good scenario. Actually, I thought it was going to be unbalanced, but actually it's pretty balanced. Give or take a couple of rolls here and there, it could have gone either way. Played a little differently, could have gone something different. Did a little bit more in the south, get some of these larger building hexes. Kind of left the center alone. I think that might have made a difference. The nice thing is the Germans can definitely, like coalesce back here where there's quite a few building hexes. But anyways, it is what it is. Great game, great scenario. That's the second one out of Stalingrad Baby Bounce 1. Okay. So, really good. So, real quick, wanted to give a story, an ATS story, and I tell it every time. And I always tell the person who I was playing, which is Mitch Land. I was telling him, I always love telling this story. He's probably going to get tired of it. But one thing that we did, we were playing the Red Christmas, and it was particularly the Desiree scenario. At least I think that's how it's pronounced. He threw and I know it's underneath here. I'm just going to mess these all up so I can get it. He threw a satchel charge at me. So he threw a satchel charge at me. And if you guys know anything about satchel charges, you do have an opportunity to catch them and throw them back. So now he threw it at me. I got it, caught it, threw it back at him, and did, let's see, so that would be on the 20. And I think I rolled like something insanely large, like a C3, C4, C5, and absolutely obliterated the squad that was actually throwing it at me. So really, really fun. It's these types of stories, these types of things that this series, this system really works. I understand there's issues with the owner. I understand that completely. The system's really good. You can buy a lot of the older boxes, older things on like Noble Knight or eBay, and it's really a good system. And if it had any support from the owner or a little bit, even just a little bit more support, this is a lot easier than ASL, hands down. You're talking 74 pages compared to I don't know how many hundreds of pages in the ASL manual. ASL is definitely more detailed, but this system just shines. It really does. The impulse movement is phenomenal. But anyways, I'll get back. I don't know. Got some stuff coming up. If I do something, it probably won't be this module. I'm a little tired of Stalingrad. I want a little bit of green. So we'll see what I get into. I was also thinking about doing Next War India Pakistan and doing the last of the basic scenarios, which is the border war, I think is what it is. So I was looking at possibly doing that. Anyways, it'll be a couple of weeks before I probably get back into it. So with that, thanks for watching, guys, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.